For 51 weeks of the year, Mount Gambier's Valley Lake is a quiet, peaceful and beautiful place to relax, have a picnic and enjoy the wildlife. For one special weekend, however, the picnickers, along with the ducks, swans and whatever the hell this thing is, are kindly asked to go be peaceful somewhere else so the lake can host a very unique event, the Legend of the Lake's Hillclimb. Man and machine are pushed to the limit along the closed public road as they attempt to clip the fastest time possible without meeting up with the barriers, trees, armco, cliff faces or crowds that line the extremely technical course. The event has been running for 12 years and continues to grow and attract entrants from all over the country who dream of setting that one perfect lap up and around the edge of a dormant volcano. This was meant to be the Chrysler's debut event last year, but unfortunately it looked something like this when the time came. I took my Toyota 86 instead and quickly forgot that I needed to get to work as a red mist descended and I pushed it to its absolute edge while tackling the hill. The car miraculously survived unscathed and set a very respectable 103.82 lap. Then I drove it the 5 hours home, thought carefully about all the times I nearly binned it over the course of the weekend and decided I should probably retire my daily driver from competitive motorsport. Leading up to this year's event, and again the Chrysler was in pieces. Following the build video I put up earlier this year, we had catastrophic engine failure resulting from the car running too lean, which we fixed, only for it to happen again due to an issue with our timing chain. Valiantly, that's a pun Chrysler people, Dad pulled it down once more and put it back together for the 4th time to finally get it right. He also installed a ProCharger P1X supercharger kit, made possible by some stickers appearing on the car, and we had it tuned by the great guys at Graham West Workshops. The car made 350 real kilowatts at 5,000 RPM before the clutch simply wouldn't let any more power through, so we set the rev limiter there to hopefully keep the clutch in one piece long enough to make it up the hill a few times. Since the last video, the car has also received some shiny red Brembo brakes, some more adjustable suspension components, a custom steering column has been refined, and its bright white interior has copped a rattle can matte black spray job. I did some aerodynamic research, then made the rear spoiler from scratch out of duct tape, fiberglass and bog. In theory, this NASCAR looking ducktail should help keep the car planted to the road at high speed. In practice, it'll probably just snap off and cover the track in debris. Either way, it's a big thanks to Joel for his help tidying it up and spraying it. Hope you enjoyed your VB, mate. So with the 300C finally up and working, it was time for its first ever competitive event, which brings us neatly back to where we started, in a nice green field full of 150 race cars ready to tackle the ascent up the difficult Legends course. My goal from the very start was to topple the time I'd set in my daily driver, and while plenty of people said the Chrysler simply couldn't do it, I was out to prove them wrong. I was one of the last cars to do the first run, and with no experience driving a supercharged car at all, and the sheer size of the Chrysler compared to the 86, I took that first run very calmly indeed, and managed a rather uninspiring 1 minute 15 lap time. I needed to do a hell of a lot better than that if I was going to catch a Toyota. As the day went by, I slowly got used to, and at times slightly distracted by the sheer power of the Chrysler, and as such spent much of that rest of that first day doing massive burnouts while leaving the start line, and finishing each run by doing handbrakies and drifting with the crowd, which, while very fun and apparently pretty entertaining, is simply not the quickest way to get around a circuit. As the sun broke over the lake for our second and final day of running, the dream of beating the record I'd set in the 86 seemed like a very unlikely outcome. The Chrysler, even after all our weight reduction, was still the heavier car by at least 500 kilograms. It had far more power than I knew what to do with. It was using its open wheel diff to turn the tyres into smoke, and no matter what we do, it will always be the size of a small block of apartments. I pushed all of that to the back of my mind, doubled down my focus, stopped screwing about, and tried desperately to reel in that 5-second gap in my final 4 runs. Each climb saw me pushing harder, learning the track and car as I continuously shaved the seconds and reeled in my daily run by run. Coming up to the last go of the event, with the best time of 104.42 to my name, I had just half a second left to find and only one shot left to prove that you really can turn a land yacht into a race car. This is how it went down. And with that, we'd done it. The Chrysler with its 103.26 lap time had achieved our goal and came home a whole half a second faster than the Toyota. I can already see the sarcastic comments from keyboard warriors about how the 86 isn't the fastest car on the road and that what we've done here isn't that impressive, but please keep this in mind. The Chrysler has about 200 rear-wheel kilowatts and 1500 RPM left unlocked. Its diff was only putting the power down through one wheel. Its tyres are about 4 inches too skinny for this kind of application. It was my first time driving the car in this setup, and not only did it manage to knock off the lightweight 86, but also beat out some of the best sports cars from Japan, Europe, America, Australia, and the back sheds all across this country. It had run both days with no issues whatsoever, and had turned more heads and started more conversations over the weekend than pretty much any other car there. We made a lot of new friends and had a fantastic time, and even made the newspaper. Massive thank you goes to the organisers, Darren and Chrysler Richards, Paddy, Chrissy, Michelle McMahon, and of course the old man. I don't know how else to say it. We've built a hell of a car here, man, and I can't wait to unlock its potential. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day.